What's up? What'd you get? Confused and turned around, or?
No, I parked out there and tried to come in the front door.
No, we let nobody out there on the weekend.
Well, I called up here and
Yeah, they called me, and then
I
we
said,
went,
I'm out here.
and we went looking for you.
Yeah, you sit here blowing in it.
Which one? It don't matter.
I have to get up and get out, just move a little bit. Where's my recorder at?
I don't. I think I set it in Intel. Colin.
Good place for it.
We got so much going on.
This is a nightmare for y'all.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I know this for a fact. You're fixing to help me. You're fixing to help me, and your buddy. Not looking good for you, buddy.
Is he involved in this, really?
You're fixing to help me, and we're fixing to talk about that, okay? And listen to me when I tell you this. It is important, and I know we've already told you, but I want to tell you again, personally, myself, because now we're in a whole different, environment, and I know it's a little nerve-wracking being in here. And this is some serious crap, as you well know.
Absolutely.
Huh?
Absolutely.
Now is not the time to play any games. And I don't know that you know anything. Okay? We don't really. I'm hoping that you. I'll be honest with you. I'm hoping that you do, and I'm hoping that you can help me. So now is not the time that if you know something to hold back.
I understand.
All right, we're going to go balls to the walls right here, and you're fixing to find out a lot of information.
Okay.
I'm fixing to throw some information at you. Okay? When we start talking, and it's fixing to get real. Okay? And I don't want you involved in it if I can help it. Okay? We want you to help us is what we're wanting.
I want to help you any way I can help you.
Okay. Unfortunately, there's this circle that's involved in all this, and you know every one of them.
I know Patrick and Bud, and I know everybody.
Everybody involved in
Right.
this. So, just a mess. I'm ready to turn this on. Is that all right? We're just going to record it from the beginning.
That's fine.
And before we start throwing a lot of information at you, we're going to start like we did at your office.
Okay.
And we're just going to go over everything. But, easy enough. This is Investigator Robert Guy. Also present is Investigator Tom Watts. And we're here today with Henry, is it Tice?
Henry C. Tice.
Henry C. Tice here at the Sheriff's Office. Today is the 11th of July, 2009. Yeah, that's one of the days. Sorry about that. Okay. And we talked to you earlier today at your shop, right?
Yes, sir.
And you agreed to come in here and talk to us?
Yes, sir.
And for a more thorough interview, we
Yes,
got a
sir.
recorded statement from you earlier.
Yes, sir.
And you drove down here by yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we appreciate that. And you understand that at any time you can get up and leave?
Yes, sir.
You do understand
Yes,
that?
sir.
Okay. And again, I thank you for all your help. You're helping us tremendously. And hopefully you can help us some more.
Okay.
Okay. I guess we're going to start. And we already talked to you. You knew the victim. Y'all are business acquaintances. Okay? And we got all that on tape the first time. What we didn't get on tape is what you had told us we didn't have the recorder on earlier.
Okay.
It's something about your ties to an ex-employee of yours. What's his name? Silvano Gonzalez?
Silvano Gonzalez.
Silvano
Yes,
Gonzalez. Okay. Let's start there. How you met Silvano.
I put an ad when I had Hispanic American Auto Sales. I put an ad in the American Classifieds for a salesman. Had to be bilingual, or he really didn't have to be bilingual. Just spoke Spanish. And Silvano responded to the ad, and I hired him, which I think was February, March of 2008. I don't know that that's right, but it's a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Okay, and that's how you met him?
Yes, sir.
Cool. And what happened from there, y'all's relationship?
He was a wonderful employee, very dedicated, the best salesman that we had, and stayed with me until we closed the dealership. We're just before we closed, he went to work with Bud, collecting the accounts that Bud had with Hispanic people that couldn't speak English. So probably in the same week that we closed.
Okay.
Bud hired him.
He went to work with Bud?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you still have a relationship with him?
Yes, sir. I see him about once a month. He'll come by the lot and pick up payments that I explained to you about. Would you like me to explain that again?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
When I got in,
And I'll start for you so we can.
okay.
He worked for you.
Yes, sir.
And is it Hispanic American?
Hispanic American Auto Sales.
Right there at Mobile and Edison?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you were having some problems. And he says, hey man, I think I can get you some money to keep us going. Let's try to keep this going.
Yes, sir.
And he did.
He did.
He got some money.
$20,000 in cash.
Now start from there.
The following week, he got $20,000 in cash, and I asked him how much interest I'd have to pay. He said $1,500, and I asked him what time frame, and he said as soon as you can. And I said, well, 5 or 6 months. You know, if business can turn around, we can pay it back in 5 or 6 months. We said that was fine. The business lasted maybe 6 weeks more, and we went out, and I went out still owing them $20,000. At that time, he began to panic and told me that he had previously told me that he had cousins in Atlanta, but he had inferred that they were in the Mexican restaurant business. Well, then he tells me they're members of the Mexican Mafia. And so he tells me he used to work for him. These people don't play. They won't kill you, they'll kill your family. And we got to get them this money. Of course, that he told Bud this. I think he told Bud that it's the same thing.
Oh,
and
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think he told Bud that I had borrowed money from the Mexican Mafia. I know he did. I know he did because Bud said to me, the only place it's come from is Savannah, because Bud said to me when we had a meeting, he said, I didn't know that you got so desperate that you borrowed money from the Mexican Mafia. So I know Savannah had to have told him that.
Why would he have told him that?
I don't know. Well, I do know. Silvano told, he called my ex-wife. Well, I don't know, did he call? Yes. I think this is true. He had conversations with my ex-wife and told her that I had borrowed this money from the Mexican Mafia. If it wasn't paid back, the Mexican Mafia would come after her family. You know, he hated it, he didn't want it, but that's what was going to happen. So I know he talked to her, and I know he talked to Bud because Bud asked me that. So
he was worried. Sylvania, have I seen that right? Silvano was worried about his family.
Silvano told me they would come after my family, and it could be they'd come after his family if we didn't pay the money. And I think he told as many people as he could, so that everybody reinforced to me, I need to pay this 20 grand.
Well, it's kind of like the blackmail.
Well, I mean, it was either I pay it or, you know, they're going to kill my family. So.
And why the heck would he tell Bud?
Because I think he told Bud, so Bud would say to me, well, Bud said, you know, I can't believe you got in such a bind, you borrowed money from the Mexican Mafia, and you know how dangerous these people are, and you know what they'll do. And I said, well, I didn't know I was borrowing it from them when I borrowed it from them. I thought it was his cousins, and he inferred that they were in the restaurant business, and that isn't the case. I think his purpose in telling as many people, because my